Hi everyone, welcome to Go I'm Chris King.
I'm Alexander Void.
Today we're having Film Rundown, episode 22. I'm your host for today, so we're going to jump right in. We have several topics to talk about. Our first one being a follow-up, actually, from Josh Trank leaving Star Wars. Now, about like a week or so ago, we talked about the fact that he did leave, and we were kind of speculating as to why and stuff. Well, now we have a little bit more clarification, not exact confirmation, but a little bit more. So this is what he said, I believe it was in an interview. This is what he claims. I want to do something original after this because I've been living under public scrutiny, as you've seen for the last 4 years of my life, he said. And it's not healthy for me right now in my life. I want to do something that's below the radar. I have a great relationship with everyone at Lucasfilm and with Lucasfilm VP Kiri Hart, and they all understand it because this whole experience for me has been very psychologically hard. Sorry, the reporter who wrote this down does not know punctuation. But anyway, that's a little more clarification on this whole thing. He also added, I've been around some version of this for a long time. This, I would say, is particularly cruel. I haven't really seen this level of vehemence against a filmmaker, and it's surreal and unfair. Sorry, that was Kimber adding to this whole kind of statement and stuff. So Josh Trank is just kind of claiming kind of the whole Joss Whedon thing. You know, like I've been involved in these different kind of worlds for so long. I want to do something original. And just, you know, that he claims that he does still have a good relationship with everyone at Disney, although he does admit that it's like the hardest decision he's ever had to make in his life. So, what do you think? Being a fan of Josh Trank.
Yeah, I love Josh Trank, and we're gonna get to it later on. But also, everybody involved in Chronicle. So the first time we heard this was actually the speculation we had when he didn't show up for Celebration, Star Wars Celebration. He just didn't show up. Supposedly he had a flu or something.
He was sick, yeah.
Yeah, he was just. I guess that's the only way to say it, stated that he was sick.
Right.
So we didn't see that. Then from there, it's like, oh, doesn't even want him there. I guess the rumors were true that, you know, it's just he's not going to be a part of Star Wars anymore. And then later on, that's when it came out that it's not part of Star Wars. And then everybody started saying it's because of what happened in Fantastic Four. Supposedly there's been problems backstage. Yeah, it's like he's trashing things. He's pissed off at everybody. Yells a lot. So I personally don't think this is true. I don't know. I can't really say because I don't know it personally. But this is a Fantastic Four was a bigger project than Chronicle was. Chronicle was somewhat of a low budget. Like you can still see that it is obviously lots of money went to it, not that much as what Fantastic Four has. So this makes sense to me. Him wanting to do something original, I think that Fantastic Four took a toll on him, and now he just wants to do something that's his. Because I think that even Fantastic Four, he tried to make that Chronicle too. So yeah. I could see that he already got a lot of scrutiny for that. So imagine something that everyone will be staring at you for, which is Star Wars.
It like has to be perfect.
Yeah. Because this one they will bash you forever. Everyone's still complaining about Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
So everybody still just blatantly states that the new trilogy that ruined the franchise. Stuff. Like you have to just watch the originals and then this one, so on and so forth. So I could see why he's in a sense scared to go on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand. I mean, I'm not a filmmaker and nor definitely not a filmmaker on his level. But I don't know. It's kind of weird to me that he's. I guess it's just a concept that like you could have directed a Star Wars movie, you know, and this Star Wars movie could have been like the Boba Fett one from what we've heard, you know, and that's kind of hard to do wrong, you know, really thinking about it. I mean, you would have to set it in the slums of the Star Wars universe and stuff, which I know they don't want to do, but like if you just kind of like what 1313 was gonna be, you know, that video game which was to explore the bounty hunters and that kind of stuff, and that like that underworld of the Star Wars universe. So it just sounds like, you know, like a bounty hunter movie. Just it should be really dope. But, you know, I don't know. I guess I understand from a perspective that he's already with these big budget movies and stuff, and he kind of wants to do something. He's indie at heart, you know. Chronicle, although it was like the perfect superhero origin story, it still was taken with a very indie approach. I mean, it was all like handy cam kind of stuff, shake cam. So it gave it that kind of feeling of, you know, like an indie kind of movie. So
yeah, but also think of Star Wars, like this is the make it break it career choice. Like this could have blown him up, and then he'll get a lot of offers, but maybe he's not ready yet. You know, it's like he knows.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, this is a make it or break it kind of a move, like you said. If he messes that movie up, or if he wouldn't mess it up, he would never touch a big budget film ever again.
Ever.
But if he would have done a successful movie, he probably could have done anything else, anything he ever wanted after. He got so much
End up
bank.
in a Marvel film.
You know, yeah, they probably would bring him on to Marvel or something like that. You're right. So, you know, either way, I'm okay with it. I'm very hyped for J.J. Abrams doing Episode 8, but after that, they're getting these directors that have just done like one good movie, and then it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
which
just
is
here, you
interesting.
direct Star Wars, like Gareth Edwards, right?
Mhm.
He did Godzilla, and then now he's doing.
Suddenly, yeah.
Now you can do Star Wars and stuff. Even though Godzilla, I wasn't really a fan of the new one. It was okay. I
What,
guess.
you didn't like that 7 minutes footage of Godzilla?
Yeah, it was like a Breaking Bad episode more than anything. So I don't know. But moving on, this comes from Lionsgate. Sorry, Lionsgate had just reported that they are fast tracking Robin Hood Origins. Apparently, this is a brand new franchise, you know, set in that kind of Robin Hood universe. And they've been speaking to the director of the first 3 episodes of Peaky Blinders. I'll get into that in a second why I'm so hyped for that. His name is Otto Bathurst. But they will be fast tracking it in the vein of Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, that whole kind of Dark Knight trilogy. And they're fast tracking it because apparently Sony's working on a shared universe Robin Hood. Warner Brothers is working on a futuristic version of Robin Hood. And Disney is making a supposedly other kind of Robin Hood version. So before we get into Robin Hood Origins, what do you think about all these different Robin Hood movies? Do you want another Robin Hood movie?
Everyone does that. They all drink the same Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
and they all know, and they all want to make these movies. And Robin's gone on forever. He inspired so many characters. Like
Yes.
without Robin Hood, wouldn't have Green Arrow, wouldn't have Hawkeye,
Yeah.
and any Archer really. So it's just like I could see why they're interested in this, but why now? Also, if you guys saw, did you end up seeing Ridley Scott's Robin Hood?
No.
Yeah, it's just it wasn't
I
good.
see.
I didn't like it. So the futuristic Robin Hood just sounds awesome, just
It
because
does.
it made me think of Batman Beyond. So I was like, I want to see
Oh,
that.
interesting.
I'm down for that. And then the everybody's trying to build universes. I'm just tired of hearing that. I'm just so tired of hearing that. Like, who are you gonna make it? I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care about that. Then going down to the actual meat of this is this Robin Hood. As a trilogy, if they're set to make a trilogy, I could see it happening. It's just grander scale. I can see that happening, and I'm okay with that. So if I'm going to see Robin Hood, that Robin Hood will be the one.
This is the problem I have with trying to make more than just one movie of Robin Hood. Although I love that era, you know, it's kind of, this is a little more post-medieval, but still that whole kind of medieval kind of time with, you know, swords and armor, pretty much that whole kind of time. I love that era, like, you know, that, like, it's one of my favorite eras. But the problem is that it's hard to do more than one movie because no one really knows the story of Robin Hood past, you know, being a thief, Robin of Locksley, you know, being a thief and giving to the poor.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the story ends for Robin Hood. That's like, he's kind of more of a myth or a kind of legend more than he is like this kind of, you know, this, you can't make like 3 movies of Robin Hood because you have to pretty much educate everyone on this was his life or whatever. I mean, unless they come at it as a pure fictional kind of way, sure.
See,
I
then they
guess.
wouldn't call it Origins because I think
Yeah,
if they
precisely,
would have done
yeah,
that,
yeah.
it would have been called something else that's stupid, like
Yeah.
Untold.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
and then you would see like people are just like, oh, I've heard of the Robin Hood. It's like
Yeah.
you should be afraid of the dark.
I mean,
It's the Batman.
it could be that this is like a prequel kind of a thing before, like he becomes, you know, Robin of Locksley, before he becomes Robin Hood, right? Before he becomes this kind of thief, where he, I don't know, kind of starts young and what have you and stuff. I think that they're trying to do this because, you know, I don't know, like you said, you know, it's hard to say, and I don't want to say it, but you know, there's a whole kind of thing of, you know, Hollywood has no new ideas and stuff, and this is kind of the way. This is one of those things where it proves it, because you have pretty much, you know, 3 of the big 6. You know, you have Sony, Warner Brothers, and Disney, all trying to get these stories up. How do you know that's proof? Well, because Robin Hood is what's the word? I should know this because I'm a business major. Is after, what is it? After like 17 years of an author's death.
Oh yes, it's
Not copyright, the opposite.
free use,
Yeah, it's like fair use,
fair use,
something like that.
Fair use.
But you know, when a story becomes a certain age and stuff, it's pretty much fair
I think it's
use.
100 years.
It's something. It's like it's like 100 years after the author's death or something like that. So it becomes fair use. Everyone can use it. It's the same thing we have with Hercules, just like 2 years ago, right? We had 2 Hercules movies come out. Now we have 3 Robin Hood movies in the works and stuff because you can do whatever you want with it. We have another Little Mermaid coming up from a different studio. This happens all the time, you know, with these kind of older stories because Hollywood doesn't really have a lot of new ideas and stuff. So it's just kind of the truth. But anyway, it's all kind of cool. The coolest thing about it is that I love Peaky Blinders. I just finished the first 2 seasons on Netflix, and it is like a 5 out of 5 kind of a show. It's so
Oh.
dope, and especially the first 3 episodes. I would watch like anything that guy wants to do after that. It's really really good and so dark. It's not even funny. So if they do take that kind of Nolan approach, I would watch it. I'm not sure if it's gonna be good, but I'd watch it. So moving on, this was a surprise to me. This one came like this, like I don't know, 3 or 2 nights ago. It was pretty late. Suddenly got an alert. New Assassin's Creed, or the first Assassin's Creed movie poster came out, and at the bottom right there it said December 21st, 2016. They've had this release date for a while. They delayed this movie, I think, like twice already and stuff. A few weeks ago, we reported that Fassbender said that he realized that scripting is really hard. We weren't really sure why it took him so long to figure that out and stuff. But it's a legit poster. It's just like an eagle. I can't really tell if it's CGI or not because it looks kind of weird to me. But it's an eagle, which is pretty much the symbol of Assassin's Creed. But I don't know. A poster is a really good indication that they're supposed to start filming this year. I don't believe they started filming already though, so it's kind of weird to have a poster so early. But that is kind of like your first indication that this movie is legit. I still don't believe it's gonna happen until it's here. At least this is the kind of movie that I wouldn't be surprised if it does get delayed until 2017. But what do you think?
The poster is sure. That's my thoughts of the poster. But then them actually having a set date. That's a good thing because right here you could just say 2016 or you could say coming soon.
Yeah.
Or coming 2016. So them feeling confident about that, I think is cool.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Really late December. It's going to January
Well, look at
territory, which
Yeah. So now think of it as Avatar. Like so you're gonna see it as a toned down Assassin's Creed. Well, The Hobbit came out at that time, so I guess there's a.
Well, I think like movies like I think Harry Potter. I think some of those movies came out like November, December-ish. I think big franchises, you're safe. Like better to put in those kind of months because everyone's gonna go see it anyway.
So now having the dates in mind, now how do you feel about it not being rated R? Like, because I'm assuming it's gonna be PG-13.
It's a good point.
More to those viewers.
You know what? That's a very good point. And usually I'm the kind of guy where I'm like I don't really care if it's rated R or not. But this is a movie that it has to be.
I agree.
It has to be rated R. And actually, which makes me believe that this movie is not going to make very much money. Because even though Assassin's Creed sells millions of copies, I mean, we're talking under 20 million copies here. Like the whole franchise as a whole, I think maybe it sold 24 million copies, which is a lot. But again, the series has become worse over time.
Yeah.
But one of the staples is that it has to be, he's an assassin. There has to be blood. I mean, heads don't really have to be chopped off, but you need, stabbing, you need blood squirting out, people killing each other. You don't really need language because there's not really a lot of language in there. So actually, I think it could get away with a PG-13, but it has to look like a rated R movie. That's kind of the problem. So I don't know. Overall, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm just seeing more red flags as we go along. Because again, it's a niche market, man. Like game movies obviously don't do well at all.
And then they're advertised as when Christmas. Like it's really weird.
They're putting it in Christmas instead of like early summer, and then the fact that it's been delayed a bunch of times. Assassin's Creed is dying down, so I don't know. I have more hope for like the Ratchet and Clank movie at this point than Assassin's Creed, but we'll see what happens. First trailer for The Martian by Ridley Scott. We mentioned Ridley Scott just earlier. He's kind of fallen off, the pedestal a long time ago. So, but this trailer was kind of interesting. What did you think about it?
I thought it was cool. Like I like Interstellar.
Yeah, pretty much Interstellar.
It's Interstellar.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. It's simple. There's not much I can say about it other than it's interesting. I like it. I'm not there yet. I'm not there like I want to go to the theaters yet. But I am like, this is interesting. Like I would watch this. There you go. I would watch this, but I'm not running into a theater.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really split. I'm not that big of a Matt Damon fan, and to see like 2 hours of him is not gonna be fun exactly. But Jeff Daniels is kind of interesting because you heard his voice a lot in there, and if he's pretty much just his newsroom character, that could be pretty dope. I don't know. I think Ridley Scott is just he just needs to stop. At this point,
Stop it.
Yeah, I mean this movie could be. This movie could be an Oscar contender for all we know. But the trailer didn't really do much for me. It was interesting, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, after having stuff like Moon, it's like I don't need to see.
Did he
this.
direct Prometheus or it was just
Ridley Scott directed Prometheus.
he did? Okay, yeah.
And it was written by David Lindelof.
Okay.
That's why it's a mess.
Okay. All right.
One of the writers.
So, I mean, I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. Moving on, Batman v Superman. We finally got the official synopsis for Batman v Superman. I want to say it's kind of early to do this, but we're just about, I don't know, 6-7 months away from the movie coming out. Actually, more than that. But we have the official synopsis. I'm a little upset. It kind of reveals a lot, but let's just kind of dive in, see what we can break down. Featuring the actions of a godlike superhero left unchecked, Gotham City's own formidable, forceful vigilante takes on Metropolis's most revered modern-day savior. While the world wrestles with that sort of hero it really needs, and with Batman v Superman, and with Batman and Superman at war with one another, a new threat quickly arises, putting mankind in greater danger than it's ever known before. So, let's just break this down, I guess, off the bat. Fearing the action of godlike superhero left unchecked. So as obviously we've seen from the trailer, people are really upset, I guess, because Superman pretty much leveled all of Metropolis. Batman's coming in. It doesn't really explain why he comes in. It doesn't. I mean, obviously he's gonna take on Superman, but is that because Metropolis reached out to Batman? Is it because Lex Luthor reached out to Batman, or is it just on his own accord? I kind of feel like it wouldn't be just on his own accord. I think there's something missing there. I think someone has to come in contact with him. Probably the city of Metropolis is my guess, or the mayor, or something like that. So when he's going up against Batman and Superman, though, this is the big kind of thing that we've speculated before, but now they're really kind of pointing to us. A new threat quickly arises. Yep. So what do you think that new threat is?
Okay, so it's kind of a hard thing here because there's like so many rumors that things convoluted. Because one of the things here was supposed to be that Bruce Wayne and what's his name?
Clark? Or Lex?
Lex Luthor. That they were supposed to like fix Metropolis together. But if one of the rumors are true, this is 2 years after Man of Steel. So if that's it, then I guess we'll still be worried about Metropolis being destroyed. But I don't know, but they did say he was left unchecked. So this is kind of a mess, and the storyline is just so simple. It's so by the numbers. It's like, okay, this guy versus this guy. Now suddenly something else is happening. I do believe it's just going to be Lex Luthor. Just Lex Luthor in a suit. It's just like, he's the bad guy, look at him. I don't think we can get something as extreme as Doomsday or anything like that yet.
Yeah. I want this movie to focus solely on Batman and Superman. Every time I say Batman now, I want to say be Superman. It's really annoying. But I really wanted to focus on just Batman and Superman. Obviously, we're not going to get that. We know Cyborg's in it.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Now, I know, dude. Like, that's because we still haven't seen, I'm excited to see how he looks. I'm hoping that...
Whoa, are we getting Cyborg?
Right.
I know we're getting Victor.
Well, I would want just Victor. Because I think it's just way too much to cram into the concept that Aquaman is a person. Wonder Woman's already a person. Cyborg's also a person. It's just too much. It's unbelievable because everyone was so blown away by Superman. I'd be more afraid of the fact that there's a half cyborg guy walking around. So anyway, but the thing is that in the casting it says Victor/Cyborg.
Oh, okay, so that's happening.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confident that he will be, or at least maybe that's his code name or something like that. It could be.
I would freak out. I think that's another Kryptonian.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of hard to believe, But anyway, I mean, it could be the last 10 seconds. Like, maybe he gets blown up and by the Batmobile or something. I don't know, whatever. Like, because the Batmobile explodes. Like, so we've heard rumors that, like you said, you mentioned, I was gonna say Darkseid, freaking Doomsday, coming out. It's way too early for Doomsday. If he comes in, I would literally walk out. It's just too much, way too much, too soon. And I'm a hardcore Batman fan, but, I'm a Superman fan, but I don't want to see Doomsday just yet. And we also heard rumors that Lex is going to have his armor. So, I don't know. I mean,
that's the one that I see happening.
Yeah, what I see happening is kind of what, one of the best, end credit scenes, I think, is Spider-Man, what was it, 2? I think it's Spider-Man 2 where Harry throws the pumpkin bomb at the mirror and it shatters. And then you see him, look at all the Goblin armor and stuff. Something like that. I would like to see, okay, Lex, he's going to be bald already, but, let's say, I don't know, he goes bald, and then he's furious, he loses everything, and at the very end, he kind of takes off some drape or something, and then there's his armor suit, That's kind of the end that I'd want to see, because, again, it's too much too soon for him to come out, but I think that, I'm hoping that's it. But I don't know. It could be anything at this point.
I see it as going to put his armor on. That's what I really believe. Is going to put his armor on. because he needs to feel, because that's what it's all about. It's about vanity. He needs to feel like he is as godly as Superman.
So you know what I'm thinking this confirms though, is I think that Lex is gonna be the villain in Justice League.
Cool. I
But
like
the thing
it.
is that I don't think he can't take on Batman, Superman, Flash, Cyborg. It's impossible.
I think that it's gonna
Someone
end,
else has to come.
Yeah, I think it's gonna end with him like walking to United Nations or whatever it is, probably just the U.S. government, and just say it's like, okay, we need to start finding a way to get rid of Superman, or to, just in case he goes crazy, let's start with computer codes. And I don't know if you know where I'm going with that one, but I think that's where it's gonna end. Us, Brainiac.
I was saying Brainiac as well, but what I was saying is that he would probably find, wreckage of the ship, and he somehow would find a way to contact, like a Kryptonian ship, and somewhere along the lines Brainiac would pick up the signal. Yeah, so I'm not really sure, but we'll see.
Spent a lot of time about it.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that. So anyway, so that's that. Moving on, Mockingjay Part 2, Trailer 1. So the trailer just came out, I think like a day before that, the poster came out as well. And it's coming out this November, I believe, right? So yeah, it's the end of an era, pretty much. Did you see the trailer? Did you hear anything
I saw
about
the trailer. It's action packed.
it? It is, yeah.
It's obviously the second half of a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it straight
There's
out.
just no setup there. It's
I'm
weird.
gonna say it straight out right now. Is I didn't watch part 1.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't watch. Well, the first film I saw, I didn't see part 1 of Mockingjay.
Okay.
Because I was waiting for the whole thing to be complete.
Right.
They already fooled me with The Hobbit. Okay, when I saw the Association of Smaug, I was like, this didn't finish. What is this?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I got pissed off when I saw Five Armies. I'm like, yeah, I waited this long for this.
Yeah.
So now it's just I didn't watch this one. I didn't watch part 1
Okay,
just so I
yeah.
could watch it before I go to the theaters.
No, that makes sense. That makes actually perfect sense. I've seen all of them, and I was really surprised that I did, because I didn't think it was for my audience, exactly. But surprisingly, the series has gotten better and better and better with each film. Mockingjay Part 1 is definitely my favorite out of the bunch. Although it did end kind of weird, it felt like it really didn't finish.
I know
anything.
the ending too. That's what sucks about.
Yeah.
not watching it.
And I was kind of fun with the
Spoilers.
ending beforehand as well. I didn't read the books, but I looked it up. But anyway, so yeah, I mean the trailer looks just like more Mockingjay. It doesn't really scream, like I just said, end of an era for me. But this movie, I mean, this series has made bank. I mean, the first one did better, I think, than any of the Twilight movies and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if anything can take the place of Hunger Games after Hunger
Well,
Games.
they're talking
ends.
about the whole districts.
Oh yes. Yeah. I mean, but that would be just a spin-off. I don't think that's gonna be like a big. It's not like a big Hunger Games kind of movie. So, I mean, we'll kind of see. I'm hoping this is kind of the end of these young adult book things.
It'll never end, Chris.
I'm tired of these like are too many dystopian future kind of movies for young adults. It's too much. They gotta do something new. So moving on, Ant-Man. This is kind of crazy. Let's start off first with the fact that we got 3 new Ant-Man posters, which are incredibly dope, that go really well along with this TV spot that you showed me. In the TV spot, there's a moment where you show me it. Hank Pym Scott Lang is talking to Hank Pym, and he says, first thing we should do is we should call Avengers, and Hank Pym just gives him a look. And then we got 3 new posters. I guess to kind of go with that.
Yep.
Can you tell us about the posters?
Yeah, so the posters are actually really cool. It's obviously Ant-Man being ant-size and standing on Iron Man for one of them. Thor's hammer on the other one, which I also liked because he actually did that. His pose, because I was like, okay, that's very Thor. And then we saw him on top of Captain America's one, where he's just standing like normal.
And the tagline is, what is it? No shield, no armor, no problem.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So I love those posters. That's actually the first thing that is like, I'm on board now. Like, I'm completely on board. Besides the whole kind of bomb that you dropped on us in that that prior Deep Dives video, that and the fact that he's in Civil War, like, I'm definitely saying
Look at that, confirming what I dropped.
It's really, really awesome. But this poster really tells me now, like, this is the comedic Marvel movie. It's gonna be straight up like a comedy, like an action comedy kind of thing. So I'm excited for it. But this is kind of the bigger news that we just got. Apparently, the rumor is it's not been confirmed yet, but I kind of am taking it for true. It sounds like something that would happen. 6 minutes of Ant-Man of a preview in front of IMAX screening of Jurassic World. Now, we're filming this on Thursday, June 11th. and we're gonna go see Jurassic World tonight. The movie comes out tomorrow, but we got early tickets, so we're gonna go see it tonight in IMAX 3D.
Yeah.
We're not fans of 3D, but we did want to go see it in IMAX, and actually, I was regretting it up to this point buying those tickets, but now I'm really, really glad I did. It makes. I mean, do you think this is real or not?
I think it's real.
We're gonna see 6 minutes.
I
of
think it's
IMAX?
happening. I really do think it's happening,
Okay.
and they need that advertisement.
That's the thing. I agree with you. I think they do need it. What do you think we're gonna see?
I think that we're gonna start off. Actually, I don't know because I know it's gonna be a heist. You know what?
Oh, really?
To slap him in the face. I guess that's really mean. But they're gonna show what Edgar Wright was showing. They're gonna show that scene of him running towards the gun
Oh.
and then beating people up.
You know, the rumor I've heard is that it's the first 6 minutes.
I thought of that too because it has to be the heist.
Well, and this is the thing. I was thinking of 6 minutes is not enough. I don't want to see Scott Lang, in jail for the first 6 minutes and going home because that's nothing. But what if the rumors that we've heard from a very long time ago is that what if these first 6 minutes is Hank Pym?
Oh.
Hank Pym in the MSU because
Oh.
I think that's how the movie's gonna start because we know that from the Lego sets like Hank Pym is probably gonna have his own suit.
Well, that's happening.
From news that you've heard from a source.
Yes.
Hank Pym is gonna be an suit. So what if these first 6 minutes is Hank Pym? So you know what I think is gonna happen is that it's gonna jump right in. Ant-Man run into a building with this suit on. I don't think anyone else is gonna realize it besides us because we know how it looks. And I think at the very end he's gonna take off the helmet and it's gonna be Hank Pym.
I like it, but I don't think so because what they're trying to show right now is Scott Lang. I think advertising Hank Pym would be too much. I think this is why they're not stating that or not showing in the trailers and stuff because that one's such a big. It's supposed to be a big reveal.
Yeah, because otherwise it could be him breaking into whatever
That's what I assume.
building it is.
It's gonna show the heist.
Because I want to see Ant-Man. I don't want to see Scott Lang. I want to see pure Ant-Man action because that's what's gonna sell us on it or not. That's what we're really kind of skeptical about. So anyway. I mean, we'll see. We'll do a deep dive definitely once we see if we see the preview.
Hopefully, it's enough for deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I will start going crazy.
Yeah, I think it will be. The question is, what is it going to be of? But like I said, we'll see. Moving on.
I like how you spell Ant-Man, by the way.
Yeah, freaking autocorrect. Did you see 2 times? Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
So moving on. Star Wars has confirmed that Star Wars: The Force Awakens will be at Comic-Con and will have its own panel with J.J. Abrams, I think Kathleen Kennedy, and most of the cast, from what I'm hearing. So what do you think? Is this a good move for Disney to put Star Wars at
Yeah,
Comic-Con?
since Marvel's not going to be there, I could see Disney just being like,
Oh, okay,
okay,
that makes sense.
here's more Star Wars stuff. So everyone's talking about Star Wars, so there you go. I think it makes perfect sense. Hopefully, what's Han Solo's name? Harrison Ford.
Oh, Harrison Ford.
He's Han Solo first,
Yeah, I was like,
and then he's
what?
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's actually down to do this.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know if he would be there. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's always bored. He's always bored. He's gonna be there.
I'm kind of like indifferent about Comic-Con. I don't want to see any more Marvel stuff. That's for sure. Because they've already shown way too much. Unless they,
Slate, man.
I think that they might. Wow, I think they might reveal Spider-Man at Comic-Con.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think that might be the one thing that they do drop. Might be Spider-Man because they've already showed off the costume. No, I'm sorry, they didn't, but they said something different. They might show either the costume or they might show Spider-Man. But other than that, I don't want to see Marvel there. DC, I feel like has so much to show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As much
They're
as
catching up.
I want to be surprised, right now Marvel is eating them for lunch. So I think DC more than anything has to be
I'm
there.
calling it now. Lex Luthor's gonna be there. Bald.
Really, that'd be good.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, like
I
either
see.
show us Cyborg or something like that, but I'm not really sure. So let's go on. We have a few more topics. This one really kind of interesting one. We have a Sandman update. In an interview with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Is this an update? Is this counted
Yeah,
an update?
it's kind of it's like a false hope.
We're talking about Sandman. There you go.
It's like a false hope more than anything. Says it does take place in the DCU. So that was the most interesting part to me. It was that confirmation that Sandman is in the DCU.
Yep.
That's obviously in the comics he is, but up until now, like
Well,
yeah, well actually he's
Vertigo.
Vertigo. So, but in the newer kind of run stuff, like he's supposed to be in the DCU. So there's that. It won't be a movie that's like fighting heavy and stuff, and it is. It's hard. He said the problem is confining, all these issues that are 24 pages into one movie. So what do you think about that with this Sandman update?
okay, so Sandman is huge in lore. super huge in lore. So actually, I can see why they've been having trouble this whole time doing Sandman. But I think how they're going to utilize them is their own Doctor Strange. I think
Right.
this is DC's version of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how he fits in there, to be honest. It's gonna be really weird. But overall, I'm happy that it's getting more of a I don't know what to call that, a popular, like
Publicity kind of.
yeah, like a show horse kind of thing. It's like look at us. Sandman exists. Don't just think he's just there. Like he's a part of this whole giant thing.
Right.
So I'm happy for that because I need more Sandman stuff.
Yeah.
I want to dress up as Sandman, which is just a cloak and nothing. I
Yeah.
guess. But nonetheless, like,
Hair.
oh yeah, it's a giant wig with a
Yeah,
big cloak.
exactly.
That's it. Hopefully, he could do old school too with when he has his mask. But nonetheless, like I want there for Sandman to exist. I don't know how his mystical thing is gonna work, like with
Yeah.
them. For sure, he's gonna beat Superman like nothing. He's magic.
Well, I don't know that he's necessarily gonna fight like Superman or any of these. I think that if they do Ant-Man, the way to do it is to portray him more as like a hero more than
Of course.
anything.
But he's just gonna be like that weird goth kid in the back.
Yeah,
Just sitting
you know
there.
what? Look, just because he's in the DCU though, it doesn't mean that he's gonna be like in Justice League. He doesn't fit.
That's very true. He does
doesn't
not
really
fit. Does not
As
fit.
dope as that would be, he just does not fit.
See
in
him
there.
next to Batman.
It's kind of like putting like Blade in Avengers. Like he just does not fit in there. You know, it doesn't really work. So I don't know.
I can see that happening. Him next to Batman. So what kind of music are you into?
All I want to see is just Batman, talking to freaking Sandman and just who's darker, you know, who's
Also-
more pissed off. you
Also,
know?
can't imagine his voice. Like for sure, he's gonna be British.
I just want him to be like very few words, very quiet, very. You know, so I don't know. Anyway, I just want to see if this movie can happen.
That's true.
You know,
too.
he doesn't have to be. We're going way ahead of ourselves. But if this movie can happen, that kind of gives hope for Justice League Dark.
Mhm.
You know, so I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But
Which is never gonna happen.
no, never gonna happen.
Guillermo del Toro can't do anything like that.
Okay.
Pacific Rim 2.
Next one, American Ultra trailer. What's the director's name? Matt.
I don't know who the director is.
Writer, sorry.
But the writer, see, now this is where I
Yeah.
fanboy because
Yes,
this is
yes,
my
yes,
favorite.
yes.
This is my favorite writer ever. Okay, and that's just being completely just out there. Like I watch everything he makes. His shorts. I watch him even just talk.
Yeah.
Okay, like he has his own YouTube channel, and all he does, like every once in a while, is just like stupid little 2-minute clips of nothing. But he is just so entertaining, so interesting. Well, his name is Max Landis.
Max Landis.
He's actually the writer of Chronicle and a bunch of other things that never get made.
Yeah. And I believe he's directing American Ultra, right? Or he's writing it.
No, he's not directed. If I
directing.
remember. If I remember, he's
Yeah.
not directed. He's
I'm not
directed
sure.
something like Him and Her, I think it was called.
Oh, okay.
I think that's his first directorial debut.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, point being, we just saw the American Ultra trailer, and what did you think about it? I saw it the second time. I loved it even more.
Yeah, it's just really good. It does give you that like you stated, Pineapple Express and Superbad.
Yeah, very like super bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of. Yeah, I got a lot of feeling of Pineapple Express. So I hope that it kind of lives up to that. The premise is still very. Like I think you have to really suspend your disbelief for it.
Oh, of
You know,
course.
it's kind of weird.
History of Violence. That's what it reminds me.
Oh, okay. So, but other than that, it looks really good to me. So, these last two trailers.
That one's a for sure, by the way. That was like I'm running to a
Yeah.
theaters.
Oh,
I'm buying
yeah,
tickets first
yeah.
day.
But these last two trailers, I believe, is Program coming out this year?
Oh wow, I don't even know.
Because I know. So anyway, so these last two trailers look like they can be Oscar contenders, right? Because they look really. Oh, sorry, American Ultra has Topher Grace, so go
Oh,
see it
yes,
to support.
yes.
Go support Topher Grace.
Topher Grace needs more love.
He needs to be a dude. If he was not perfect Venom, but just him in a Marvel role, like he has to do something like that again.
I would like him as Spider-Man.
Dude, he should be Spider-Man.
He should have been Spider-Man.
Yeah, someone bring him back or something. Anyway, so Pawn Sacrifice. I've been waiting for this movie for years, literally years, because I would look at Tobey Maguire's filmography, and at the bottom of the list was always this with like a TBA, Pawn Sacrifice. You know, and I know it's because I used to play a ton of chess. It's a movie about Bobby Fischer in the 1950s. Actually, a little more near the end of his career when he was going up against like one of the most famed Russian chess players, and the press and politics and everything kind of gets involved because it's a whole kind of like America versus Russia, this whole kind of Soviet Union kind of thing. Very different era, 1950s. So everyone's like very paranoid, and obviously he was kind of schizophrenic in a sense and stuff. It just looks dark, right? Like you saw the same thing. the art of like how the way he thinks, where it's like D5 like R 4 and stuff. I felt like it was perfect,
Yeah,
literally
that was nice.
perfect.
Like you could see what's in his mind.
Exactly. Yeah. So I love it. The design looks good. Cinematography looks good. The narrative is gonna be good. The acting looks good. It looks like it can be an all around, like probably the best role of his career. If it does pan out the way we think it will, it could be messy. But if it does how we think it will, it could be the best role of his career. It could get him, maybe a nomination. Because so far I haven't seen anything else that really screams, nomination for me besides this next one.
Yeah, it's weird because Seabiscuit and
It's
The
fun.
Great Gatsby, I think they were supposed to be the ones that are trying to get him an award.
I like him in Great Gatsby.
So this is the thing, and I'm happy that I see Spider-Man fighting Sabretooth.
I know,
that
right?
was-
Yeah,
that was
big old
nice.
Marvel crossover.
But other than that, I always played chess, but I never got into this chess world.
Mhm.
So I didn't even know this person existed. And when I saw this, it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
The first thing that I thought of was A Beautiful Mind.
Mhm.
If you saw that movie, he actually won an award for that. I think it was Russell Crowe. I don't know who it is. They all look the same to me. But you haven't seen Beautiful Mind?
No, I'm familiar with the movie though, but no.
That is
I haven't
totally
seen it.
worth watching, and this is what it reminded me of. So I do believe this is going to win some kind of award, some kind of praise,
Oh, yeah.
because it looked awesome and
Yeah.
it could hold up to that.
Probably like adapted screenplay, something like that.
So I want better than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm for this. I think it looks really cool.
Okay, good. Last one. This trailer also just what a good trailer. Just really, I don't know. It just kind of collects all of the scandal behind it and puts it into one trailer. The Program. I didn't even know this movie was coming out, but it makes perfect sense because after knowing the story of Lance Armstrong and everything going through, it pretty much screams like at some point this is gonna be made into a movie. I just did not expect it, so soon because he's still kind of relevant in the news. Anyway, Lance Armstrong, obviously his whole fallout from after being caught with multiple drug enhancement stuff, gets stripped of all his Tour de France's, loses all of his endorsements, pretty much loses his family and his friends and everything. That pretty much he's a hated kind of person. So, but I mean the trailer itself just is genius. Especially like you said, the art style, the whole what is it? Winning is in his blood.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was like, oh wow.
It's
and,
just-
and then how it ended. Just,
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like,
he,
damn.
honestly, he looked like a murderer. Like, yeah, like I mean, but the thing is that although this trailer really paints him as a villain, I want him to really address. I heard this earlier from a different reporter, but to address the fact that he still has done a lot of good for people with Livestrong. I like how they use those colors against him though. But like his organization Livestrong, even though it's pretty much shut down, it was there to help cancer survivors, and even though he was a cheater and he is disgraced, and rightfully so, all of his awards should be stripped from. I completely agree with that. He did do a lot for the cancer community. After him, people started to raise a lot of money. That program started when I was like, I don't know, like very early high school, very early, very late middle school, something like that. So it's been around for a long time. So I would like them to address still the work that he did do for other people.
yeah, hopefully do that.
And again, like I heard from the same reporter, I want people to walk out and question, do I support him or am I against him and stuff? That's how trippy this movie could be. But overall, I mean, he looks so menacing. Like you said, like when he just goes like this to the camera, like, oh, it's so dope. And Chris O'Dowd as like a supporting actor. I'm not sure what he's supposed to be. That's one thing that kind of threw me off. Is he a reporter? Is he a coach? Is he a doctor?
He looks like he's a reporter and he's
Something like
against
that,
them
right?
too.
Yeah, and he's definitely against him. So I don't think the guy was Ben Foster. He doesn't look like Lance to me. The wig looks really fake.
But he looks like Ben Foster.
He does look like Ben
And
Foster.
we need Ben Foster, okay? I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he was Angel, right?
Yeah, he was Angel. And then we want to forget that.
Yeah, we won't forget. Sorry, I don't want to bring that up, but I was like, that's how I know, because he was so bad in Angel, as Angel. But anyway,
But yeah, this one, I'm for
Yeah.
this. I like it. I want to watch it. It is funny because every time somebody talks about documentaries and stuff, it's like, when isn't that even a documentary? It's a movie.
Biopic, yeah.
When do they get a biopic? It's like when they die. And sadly, Lars Armstrong's career is over.
yeah, pretty much is over.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
He really hit his highest high.
Yeah, it's kind of because I'm wondering. I'm like, that's why I'm so surprised. I'm like, did he allow this to happen? Like, is this legal to do a movie like that on some guy who's so like? Because I don't think he was like, yeah, go do it.
I'm
Unless
sure there's a paycheck.
no, look, if he does it, if he is like that, I'm I like that. Like I like a guy who can own up to his mistakes and stuff and say, yeah, like here's a true story and stuff. That's cool. But I'm not sure if he had any hand in it. But yeah, I was surprised. But such a dope trailer.
Yeah, but also like stating what you were saying, like he helped a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot of people could do a lot of things with stolen money.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose. I mean, but that's the thing about it, right? Like, I mean, going back to that Robin Hood kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
He was like not a modern day Robin Hood, but it's
Robin the Hood.
similar kind of concept and stuff. So I don't know, but overall, I'm not sure if it comes out this year.
Yeah,
That's the biggest question.
I think it's
have
coming
right now.
soon.
I think it's coming soon. That's probably why. So yeah. That was pretty much all it for this week of Film Rundown. We had multiple topics to discuss, like I said, this week. Every Friday, these film rundowns will be posted, so make sure you guys start to leave us questions either on Twitter at Goodbye Deadly or here on YouTube at Goodbye Deadly. Leave them in the comments below, or like I said, tweet them at us and let us know what kind of topics you want us to cover for the next week. So for everything news related and with all these films coming up, stay here at Goodbye Deadly.